we just watched the I Can't Wait music video. You guys really did a great job with that song. I have to say, thank you for putting what so many people are feeling into a song that is somehow both full of the strange feeling we all have, that weird, unexpected, like not quite knowing how to put our finger on it, longing for something to come next, but still really hopeful, and keeping the knowledge that our friends are closer than they seem right now to all of us. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
So where are you guys? Why don't you tell everyone where you are right now?
Do you want to go first, Mike?
Okay, I'm currently in Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada. Yeah.
Cool. Inside as you should be, staying safe.
Inside, at home, as it should be. Yeah, that's where I'm spending most of my time now.
Oh, Vincent, I hear the birds in your background.
Yeah, I'm in the backyard of my parents' house in the Netherlands. And it's almost getting dark, so I might just go back inside in a little bit. But
well, before you do, I know that this is the backyard that inspired I Can't Wait. Would you pan the camera around for everyone real quick and see if they can't get a video?
So this is like the little spot that the sun just went on.
It's
so
that's beautiful.
That's kind of sad. But yeah, I was sitting here and having a call with my friends, and yeah, that's when that idea came about.
Yeah. How long have you guys been in quarantine now? Everyone's saying your backyard is amazing.
That's such a difficult question.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Were you guys already home when everything happened? I mean, what was kind of the timeline for you guys? Had you been on the road? Were you working on music at home anyway?
So I just went home like right after the Detroit show that we did. And I was gonna be home for like 1 week and then go back to America and do the rest of the shows. But during that week, actually, everything pretty much happened. And on that Thursday, the borders were closed. So I wasn't even able to fly back, and that's also around that time that we decided that it would be better to cancel all these shows.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a really tough decision. It's not easy.
It really was.
It was a pretty crazy time because, I mean, we're in different time zones, 9 hours apart from each other. And I was watching the addressment of the nation, where, and basically like when Vince went back to the Netherlands, all of us were just thinking like, well, the worst thing that could happen, which will probably never happen, is if America would close down the borders for all European visitors. And we were like, we talked to a bunch of different people, and everything, and none of them were, everybody was like, nah, that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And then I was watching that live stream, and they were just like, well, we're going to close the borders.
Yeah.
So
it happened, yeah.
Yeah, it happened. So, shit really hit the fan.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Every part about what's happening right now is completely unprecedented. And I was just saying to everyone on the stream that, I think that's what makes this situation very unique. No one who's alive right now has experienced something like this that is so global. Everyone around the world, everyone who's on the stream right now, you guys, me, we're all experiencing this strange, unprecedented moment together. And that's where I think the solace comes from. And, I think that's maybe what helped inspire the track. Can you talk to me about what's really interesting to me as well is like, you guys weren't together and you both were independently inspired and working on things. Can you talk to me about that process? Vincent, maybe start with you.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, it's like getting used to this whole new thing. Was very surreal. So I also kind of had to like make a shift in my mind in how to even cope with it all, and therefore also I noticed that I was making a lot of different music than I would normally make. And
in what way?
Well, in the way that I was. Well, yeah, I think also this track is a testament to that. That it has some influences that I didn't think that I would use in a Droeloe song, and yeah, it's hard to explain though because it's yeah.
Well, it sounds like it is something that came straight out of you for a reason. You know, clearly you did it very quickly. I don't know that you were overthinking, maybe just reacting, just emoting, like.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a like a flowing thing. I felt like I need I needed to get it out in some way. It was very like cathartic in a way that yeah, just working and recording that trumpet and like singing and writing that lyric. Although it's not even like that difficult and impressive of a lyric and stuff. It flowed really nicely and yeah.
I see what you're saying, but I think the simplicity here is what makes it really striking. It's just what everyone's feeling, you know. Hein, tell me about what spurred you to build these beautiful images. They have this almost like everything seems so abandoned, but this girl jumping around through this playground is really hopeful at the same time. And I think her jacket's yellow, right? It's this very springtimey look.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had the idea of doing at least something with like the subject matter and just the feelings that I had at the time. After like 48 hours of dealing with all of this stuff, and like for me, it's like I have like Vince is still in the Netherlands, my mom and the rest of my family too. So I felt like I was kind of like encapsulated by bad news and like just horrible things, and I kind of felt like the only way for me to not constantly think about that and put all my energy into that was to put my energy into something else. And that's why I figured like, well, maybe make something cathartic with this whole situation. And that's kind of how the idea for the artwork came about. And originally me and Vince were both working on it separately, and we were both dealing with it in our own way, but not really. The plan wasn't for the two to be paired up, but when we both heard and saw what we worked on, we were like, "Oh, this is too good of a combo to not pair it up."
Yeah.
And how did it feel?
It was actually incredible how that came about.
Yeah.
Because, when you talked about that idea and like around the same time you heard the song, we're like, "Yo, this yeah."
You guys were like, "This is why we work together. We're on the same wavelength."
Yeah.
It works even when we're not trying.
But I think that's funny enough how usually a bunch of our like creative interactions go, because everything's just, if we're both on the same page on what type of feeling a song is trying to convey, or the other way around, that's kind of like what we usually go off of, where there's a clear distilled story here that we basically need to honor both visually and auditive.
Yeah. And you guys are selling prints of these artworks on your site, no? Or when will that happen?
They went live yesterday.
Great. Awesome.
Yes.
That's really cool. What else is keeping you guys sane while you're in quarantine? I mean, you can't spend all your time writing. I can't wait.
For me, definitely although really sporadic, but like the couple runs to the grocery store.
Yeah, I think
because that's the only moment that I'm outside of the house and the garden. And that little bike trip to the grocery store is amazing.
Nice to take the bike too. How long of a bike ride is it?
Sorry?
How long of a bike ride do you get?
That's like it's only a 5-minute bike ride because it's like literally down the street. But I enjoy every second of it.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Hein? What's keeping it together?
I try to go on a lot of walks in the morning, respectively staying 6 feet away from other people, of course. yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that's what has been keeping me sane before quarantine, and is still kind of doing the trick. It's the. I mean, I spend so much time behind my computer, and I feel like if I can just walk in the morning, walk around, and we usually have a bunch of team calls because, of course, all of us now work remotely, but we kind of used to do before. So that's kind of like my morning ritual: just go on a walk and talk to everybody that I need to talk to. Yeah, that's kind of what's been doing it for me. But also, yeah, we were talking about it right before the call too. It's like going to the grocery store is like the highlight of the week nowadays.
I know. You gotta get all dressed up.
Definitely.
Wave at all the birds and the squirrels that are your family now as you go down the street.